Shalom. Shalom, Israel. First off, I want to give all honor and glory and praises unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, right? And the title of this video is going to be titled, How do we know that the so-called natives, the so-called Mexican Latinos, right, are Israelites, right? When you read the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 40, right? It goes into that and it lets you know who the Israelites are, right? It lets you know that the 10 tribes, right, the natives and the natives, the so-called Mexican, the Latinos are Israelites, right? 2nd Esdras chapter 13 and verse 40, and it reads, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land." Right, so the 10 tribes, right, they went into captivity, right, before the so-called blacks, right? They went into captivity, right, and they were led away captive by the Assyrians, by Assyria, right? And they took them, over the waters, right? How do you travel over waters? In boats. So they went into slavery on boats before us. And it says, and so came they into another land. They took them into another land, right? Captive. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, right? So our Israelite brothers and sisters, they took counsel among them. So they said, look, we're going to get out of here. We're going to leave the heathen, right? It says, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, right? So they want to leave the heathen and go forth to a further country where never mankind dwelt, somewhere where nobody's ever been. No man's ever been to this land, right? And what land is that talking about? We're going to get more into it, but we know that that's talking about here, America. Who was the first people here on this land? The native Indians, right? Mankind never dwelt here. The natives were here first. It says that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, right? Because they didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments in their own land, in Jerusalem. Right? Our people kept going off and worshiping, other gods and breaking their law, statutes, and commandments. So they wanted to come to a land where never mankind dwelt so that they can keep the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, right? Verse 43. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, right? So they entered into the Euphrates River by the narrow passages, right? And on the Euphrates River, that water in there is so rapid that you go into there, you might not make it back out, right? Verse 44. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood. So the Most High held the waters calm, held them still, so that our Israelite brothers and sisters can pass over, right? So they were passed over. Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, right? It took them a great way. It took them a long time to get here, namely of a year and a half. So it took them a year and a half to get over here to the Americas. It says, and the same region is called Arsarith, right? So that land they went to was called Arsarith, all right? So we have to see what Arsarith is, right? We're going to see what Arsarith means. Salakia. Let me get it real quick. Arsarith. When you type in Arsarith on Google, it's going to let you know what this land is, right? And it says Arsarith. You see it right on top of the Arsarith. It says the name of the land beyond the great river. So this is the name of the land beyond that great river, the Euphrates River. Far away from the habitation of man. Very far away from where any man dwelt, as we just read. In which the 10 tribes of Israel dwell, observing the Shalakia, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the law of Moses. Because we just read they wanted to leave the multitude of the heathen to go into a further country where never mankind dwelt, so that they can keep the laws of the Most High, right? Until Shalakia, until the time of restoration, according to Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 45, right? Which we just read. Columbus, right? Christopher Columbus, when he came over here to conquer, it says Columbus identified America with this land, right? So when Christopher Columbus came over here, he called this land America, and the Bible is called Arsarit. And when Christopher Columbus came over here, what did he do? He conquered the native Indians. So we know that the natives are Israelites according to the Bible, and they were here first, right? So that's how you know that the so-called Mexican Latinos, the natives, right, are Israelites as well. It's all Israelites. You have camps out there that says, Israelites are all black. That ain't true, right? We're all different shades of brownness, and there ain't no such thing as a black Israelite because ain't nobody black. We're brown, right? Different shades of brown. So the so-called Mexican, Latino, the native Indians, they are our brothers, right? And you go to the book of Jeremiah, book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel," right, the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom, right, the natives, the so-called Mexican, the Latinos, and the children of Judah, right, Judah and Benjamin, right, were oppressed together, right? Are we not oppressed together this very day? We're all in captivity together. We're all in the ghettos together, right? We're the ones getting shot down by the cops together, right? It says, all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, right? They took us captives and they still refused to let us go. We're still here in Americas, right? We're still here in captivity. When you read the book of Baruch, chapter 3, it lets you know we're still yet this day in our captivity, right? We get the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 6. And it reads, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, right? The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, right? It said the children of the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, were sold unto the Edomites, that ye might remove them far from their borders. Right? We're removed far from our border. Right? Our homeland is Jerusalem. We're very far away from there. Still here in the Americas where we was brought into captivity. Right? And when the conquistadors came and they conquered and they took our people to Spain. We still have some of our people over there in Spain as well. Right? Wherever we were taken in captivity, we still have our people there throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? We get Jeremiah chapter 3 and 18. Read Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 18. And it reads, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. Right? So it says the house of Judah, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, so-called blacks and the so-called Mexican, Latinos, and Native Indians shall walk, right? Walk together. And they shall come together out of the land of the north, to the land that I have given for an inheritance to your fathers. So we're going to come out of this captivity together, out of the land of the north, right? Which is America. The Most High God is going to redeem those who are keeping the law, statute, commandments out of this captivity when Yahweh Shai comes back with the chariots. Right? So that's how we know that, the so-called Mexican, Latinos, Native Indians are Israelites. And then also when you read the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? This is how you identify who the Israelites are. And we're the only ones who identify with these curses in the Bible. No one else, right? But Lord willing, this video was edifying. To the next video, I bid you shalom.